guys, it's boy from Sweden, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the worst cases in CS2, meaning the ones you really probably shouldn't open if you care about your money. First of all, there are a few different ways cases can be bad. First of all, it could be just the ROI, meaning how much money you'll get back in case you open that case on average. It could also be the average loss per case, meaning that on the more expensive cases you're probably going to lose a lot more money than on the cheaper ones. And it could also mean something like the value from only the golds. For example, Operation Hydra case, the gloves from that case are very expensive and therefore make up a lot of the ROI from that case. And this sort of gold value I've kind of named gold heaviness, and that's what I'll be calling it in this video. And it could also mean, of course, the cases where the chance of profit is the lowest. Now, I made a list of all the cases in CS and I checked all of these different criteria to try to figure out the worst case in CS. And now, before we get into that, I want to thank today's video sponsor, which is Pirate Swap. Pirate Swap is a CS2 trading site and instant sell site where you trade skins for brand new ones or instantly sell them for real money. No more sitting and waiting for your skin listings to sell, since Pirate Swap buys the skins directly from you and pay instantly. They also have freebies where you can win skins from just trading and depositing using code Anomaly for 35% extra, or you can do the free challenges where you're rewarded with trading balance. So if you want to try out Pirate Swap, then please do so from the link in the description, and thank you once again Pirate Swap for sponsoring this video. Let's start off with the cases that has the worst ROI. I made a list of the worst ROI cases. Starting with number 5, we have the esports 2014 summer case with an ROI of only 39.45%. And I'm not gonna lie, I like the esports summer case, but with this ROI, that's just not smart to open. At number 4, we have the clutch case with almost the exact same ROI as the esports summer case. 39.42%, which is not great either. At number 3, the glove case, 35.88% ROI. That means if you're gonna put in $100 into the glove case, you're only on average getting back $35, not considering the gold heaviness, which we're gonna see for the glove case is pretty big. At number 2, Riptide case with an ROI of only 28.04% chance. That is really shit actually, but it's not the worst, because the number 1 worst ROI in CS currently goes to the eSport 2013 case with an ROI of only 14.8%. I mean, shit, the case itself is almost $100. That means on average, if you open one of these, you're gonna get a skin that's worth $14 to $15. So the first big ass point towards being the worst case goes towards the esports case for sure. Next, we have the highest average loss per case, which means how much on average per single case opened you're expected to lose. At number 5, the Operation Riptide case. Again, it's an expensive case, and we saw the ROI was bad. Per case, you're expected to lose $11.69. Haha, 69! Next is the Hydra case. You're expected to lose $14.87 per case. And then the expensive cases start coming. The Operation Bravo case, you're expected to lose $26.25 per case opened. That's quite a lot, but it's nowhere near the CSGO weapon case 1, where per case you're losing $70.86 on average. Now remember, the case and key, it's like 90 or $100 or something, so you're losing almost everything. And at the number 1, the esports 2013 case, where on average per case you're losing $76.25. There's legit no reason to open it. Next are the most gold heavy cases, meaning, like I said, how much of the value of the ROI comes from only the golds, which means, you know, yeah, if you open 400 cases, maybe the ROI is really good because per 400 case you're supposed to get a knife, but in reality, if you don't, that case might be the worst one ever to open. At number 5, the breakout case, where 84.1% of the value comes from the golds. And obviously that's no surprise, because in this case, there's not that many good skins. Even the reds are kinda trash. Everyone is just opening this case to get the butterfly. At number 4, we have the Chroma 3 case with almost the exact same 84.2%. And once again, that's no big surprise. The skins in this case are kind of shit. The only one I even kinda like is the Chanticos Fire, and then all the value comes from the golds because of the rubies, sapphires, black pearls, phase 2s. This case is very good when it comes to the gold, but very bad when it comes to the normal skins. At number 3, with the exact same stats of 84.2% gold heaviness, the Gamma 2 case. Once again, no surprise, because from this one, you can get the Gamma knives like Bayonet Gamma Doppler or Flip Emerald, and these are very wanted, valuable knives. Meanwhile, the skins in the case, they're not that great. Even the reds are very cheap. At the number 2 spot, Dreams and Nightmares with 87.3% of the value coming from the golds. That's because all the skins in this case are almost free. Even the reds are just in the single-digit dollar. That's absolutely insane, and everyone just wants the Butterfly Emerald. And the number 1 spot of the worst case in terms of gold heaviness is the glove case with 88.1% of the value coming from only the golds. The skins are absolutely poo. Even the reds, they've never been hype. Even when the case was released, these were shit. The only reason people are opening this case is because there's a chance to get Pandoras, Hedge Maces, Superconductors, and Spearmints. But in reality, the skins of the case are poo. And finally, I chose the 3 cases in CS which have the lowest chance of you profiting from if you open. You might think that's just the ROI, but that's different. This is the chance of profiting, meaning getting more than the value of the case and the key from the skin you open. The number 3 spot goes to the Chroma 3 case. Now, the Chroma 3 case isn't great, only bringing a profitable case once every 95th case. The chance to profit is around 1.06% or so. So if you're opening 100 cases, you're lucky if one of them gives you a higher value than the price of the case and the key, which is $6.33, which is fucking crazy. Why would you open these? After that is the Dreams and Nightmares case with a chance of you profiting only being 0.92%, because only 1 in 108 Dreams and Nightmares cases will be profit. So obviously, if you open 200 Dreams and Nightmares cases, you're only going to get profit from 1, maybe 2 cases if you're lucky. And on average, in the entire case, there's only 1 skin other than the gold that'll give you profit, and that's the AK Nightwish, which is still incredibly cheap. And this is insane to think about when the price of the case and the key together is only $4.4. It's insane how worthless all of these skins are. And the final case with the worst chance to profit from in all of CS, the glove case. On average, only about 1 in 160 glove cases will be profit at 0.63% chance to profit. That means if you open 320 glove cases, you're losing money on 318 of those cases. What? Now we can finally make a list of the actual worst cases in CS2 to open, in my opinion, based on what we've seen today. In no specific order are the Esports 2013 case. First of all, it's extremely expensive to open, almost $100, and it's the lowest ROI out of any case. It's really on the low side of chance to profit at 2.35%, and there's no exclusive items to chase from this case. It doesn't make sense. And it's also got the worst rating out of all cases on CS ROI, because this case was made 12 years ago. The skins are pretty outdated. So that leaves only the gold, but the gold is the same as in, for example, Weapon Case 2 or Weapon Case 3 or Winter Offensive or Phoenix case. There's so many cases that are cheaper than this that's more worth to open for the same golds. Esports 2013 case, fuck you. Next case you shouldn't open, the Dreams and Nightmares case. And this is maybe a bit weird coming from me, because this used to be my favorite case and I used to open this one all the time, but because it was so cheap for so long, the case and key are still only $444, which means all the skins in the case are gonna be really cheap. The ROI is on the lower side with only 47%, and it's basically tied at the highest gold heaviness, because more than 87% of the value from this case comes only from the golds, and even then, mostly from the Butterfly Gamma Doppler. Not not the worst one, but in my opinion, you shouldn't open this one because this is super degen. You're only chasing a gold. The next case, in my opinion, you should not open is the glove case. That's because, first of all, it's pretty expensive to open. The case and the key together are almost $16 now because so many streamers are opening it. It's got a low ROI of only 35% and a very high average loss per case at almost $10. It's the case with the lowest chance to profit from, like I said, and it's got a CS ROI rating of 40 out of 42. Almost the worst one. And the final case, which you probably already guessed, you shouldn't open, the weapon case 1. It is by far the most expensive case to open. I think it's almost $120 now for the case and key. And it's just extremely high risk with a very, very small chance of a reward. And in this case, it's crazy because there are even golds that are worth less than the case and the key. That's fucking crazy. And since, for example, the Phoenix case is only $4.50, you're paying basically $115 premium to open this case, not for the golds, only for the AK case hardened. The prices of the skins in this case are favoriting the AK case hardened so much that the Glock Dragon tattoo is worth $100 and the Deagle Hypnotic only 85. That's crazy. That's basically my list of the cases you really never should open in CS. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I helped you out in maybe making a smarter decision next time. Now I'm gonna go cry because opening a weapon case 1 now costs $120, but back when I started playing, the case was only 3 cents. Whoop him! You're only profiting on average on 2 of them.